The other issue is, about 6-7 years ago, they had a new lie that mercury had been taken out of the vaccines. No, small lots were made that were mercury-free, thimerosal-free. But other vaccines, like the flu shots and others, quadrupled the amount of mercury in them. But the mercury is the least of your problems in a vaccine. It's the RNA, the viruses, the other viruses they're adding. I mean, I have an article here today out of ABC News where they're promoting that kids need 2 H1N1 shots this next year again. And it's not even going to be a new mutated virus, a new vaccine. They're saying take the old one, when there's no reason to take the old one, even if you believe the H1N1 was deadly. And it's come out from the British Medical Journal and the UN and Wolfgang Wodarg, Dr. Wodarg, who we had on, the EU Commission, that they premeditatedly lied, that the vaccine's deadly, and that it was all a giant hoax. I had the editor of the British Medical Journal on 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago before it was national news. Now it is. It's all a fraud. These companies, Bayer Pharmaceutical was caught in court 5 years ago knowingly putting the HIV in the factor VIII. They knew it. They did it on purpose. Do you understand? These are eugenics companies. They're Nazis. I mean, look at this headline out of Reuters. Oh, this is MSNBC, excuse me. Recovery means no undue edge for nations, Obama. That's globalism. But they don't raise the third world and lower the West. They lower everyone. That's why they had the Copenhagen Treaty last year, and the third world got the treaty and said, this has almost double the taxes on us of the West. We were going to vote for it because we were supposed to rob the rich nations. No, no, no. This is the bankers robbing everyone. This is everyone being third world slaves. U.S. President Barack Obama said Sunday at the G20 that countries must not have any undue advantage if the world is to build a strong and durable economic recovery. That's world government. A strong and durable recovery also requires countries not having an undue advantage. That means America gave up its industry because we had an advantage, remember? A strong and durable recovery also requires countries not having an undue advantage, Obama told journalists at the end of the G20 talks in Canada. This isn't political correctness, folks. This is mercantilism. Research it. So we also discussed the need for currencies that are market-driven, he added. Yeah, they're about to get rid of our currency. We're still going to have it, but it's going to be... And I meant to get to this, but the guys just gave it to me again to remind me. This is AP. CIA's Panetta. Iran has enough uranium for 2 bombs. And they've got the weapon systems all massed, getting ready to go into Iran. That'll be a nice political diversion while the banks openly set up world government. Okay, I said I was going to go to your calls. Next Sunday, I may just do a whole show with nothing but calls. That's the 4th of July. I may have something special for that day. I'm not sure. But regardless, let's try to get to your calls 1 minute apiece. Jonathan in Kansas, go. You're on the air.
Yes, Alex. I have several good videos for you that you can look up on YouTube. And a pen and paper might be good for you.
Go ahead.
While you get that, type in 6-year-old girl on no-fly list, and this is a new one off of Fox News.
No, no, that's up on prisonplanet.com. We've yeah, we've got that. The evil 6-year-old. And they're also now harassing people with fake artificial limbs, even though they know. And they're making people in wheelchairs that can't walk. They're making them get up and walk without help, or they can't fly. It's all about humiliation. It's all about pushing us to set the precedent where we'll do whatever they say. And now they admit they record our naked bodies. They save the images. It's all funny to them. They laugh at our genitals. This is your criminal government. Go ahead. They staged the terror attacks so they could turn us into slaves. It's so simple. So they could invade other countries. We have the internal Homeland Security documents. We are the terrorist, according to them, because they are the real terrorist. What's the other one, Jonathan? I got to move here.
All right. Another one is about the corruption of the police department in New Orleans. You type in culture of police corruption into YouTube.
Well, they were the main ones robbing everything in liquor stores and jewelry stores. It's crazy, Jonathan. Good points. I'll look into that. And again, if you can't admit police in history tend to become corrupt, they will then take over and become corrupt. But here it's like, cops never did anything wrong and you're for the criminals. Yeah, I'm against all criminals. Let's talk to Jeff in Canada. You're on the air. Go ahead, Jeff.
Hi, Alex. Thanks for taking my call.
Welcome, sir.
First, I got a couple of points that I want to make. I'm just back from the G20 in Toronto. I met up with some other guys I'm with We Are Change Windsor.
What did you witness? Tell us.
Well, first of all, I wanted to go over an article that I read about the secret meeting of the G20 with the Canadian Finance Minister, Jim Flaherty. He met in what they called the B20. That's a secret meeting of the CEOs of the G20 countries.
Yeah, that's another headline that Obama slipped off for a secret meeting, like he did with Hillary when we were at Bilderberg in 2008. We were there. The rest of the media was like, where are they? Go ahead.
Yeah, I also wanted to go over. I also noticed one of the things that scared me just as much as the police state was the number of communists on the street. I just want to confirm everything that you're saying today. There were communists everywhere, and they were well funded. They had these big giant banners up, and they were on every street corner with printed newspaper published.
And the police left them alone, because I've been at other events, and our sources say they were wonderful. It was only We Are Change and patriot groups that they were after.
My last point is, I also wanted to make the point that one of the reasons why I think they're doing these G20s and they're putting so much funding in it is because they're caching all of their weapons, all of their armor for when they do implement martial law. Somebody had mentioned that to me, and I thought I'd
No, these are laboratory takeover drills, so they're visiting all the major cities. They're meeting every month all over the world. Way more money is spent than should, and they admit they're training to have local police go under foreign bank control. That's like the city of Austin, $2.6 billion in taxes on energy to pay the banks. It's just the banks are coming into our cities and raping us financially. Go ahead.
Last point I wanted to make was about these agents provocateurs. I seen them there. There was a couple of people there with InfoWars shirts on, and he had a video camera, and we were trying to get their faces on video camera. I met up with some 9/11 Truth guys from Toronto that had the 9/11 was an inside job and the Infowars.com on the back of it, and we were shouting, resist the New World Order, 9/11 was an inside job, so we were really pushing the message and trying to get the message out. I was handing out DVDs with your films that had seven films of your films on one DVD.
Good.
And I had people coming up asking me for more DVDs because they gave it away. So I was just trying to get that information out.
What were the provocateurs doing? You've done a great job, Jeff.
Well, basically, they were all huddled up together, and then all of a sudden they dispersed, and there was one here, one over there, one over there. But they did have the combat-style boots on, like we've seen in the past at the Security and Prosperity Partnership in Montreal. But they had walkie-talkies in their hand. They looked like they were organized.
Yeah, that's when we caught the cops attacking their own cops. Get that video up on YouTube. Great job, Jeff. Adam in Canada, you're on the air.
Yeah, two things. First of all, I'm hearing half states are broke. And but then, with the comprehensive annual financial reports from Walter Burien, is this all fake that the states are broke?
Well, number one, you notice they say the states are broke. That's on budget, so they want to raise the taxes because most of the money now goes to interest on the debt. But depending on the state, it varies. But yes, the states were not broke a few years ago, but they were invested in the $600 trillion, as the Washington Post now admits, derivatives. So the banks sold them that, got money. Now the states have had their assets devalued by about half, so they're overextended, and so they're trying to now raise more money, and they've lost their credit ratings, many of them, so they're paying higher interest to the same private banks. So it's a state-by-state issue.
Okay, and the other point is on vaccines and viral theory. There's a British investigative journalist named Janine Roberts. She's got an excellent book and a website called fearoftheinvisible.com is the website. And what the field of molecular biology is apparently finding out is that a lot of these particles that are being sort of called viruses are they're emitted by cells in a normal cell function, the process of communication and repair and things, and they may in fact be a response to cell stress and disease, not the cause of it. And in that book, she also outlines how Robert Gallo, the supposed discoverer of AIDS, all of his work, his four main papers on which all the HIV theory and all the funding is based, were found to be completely fraudulent in here.
No. HIV is a cover for other soft-kill weapons introduced. The Navy developed the bioweapon, and I appreciate your call. Man, this is all declassified. It's just the general public doesn't know it. Mark in Florida, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah, a quick comment here, Alex, about the sad state of affairs in the southern states where they would turn people into refugees because of the fumes.
Yes.
The CIA in 1950s, via the Saigon military mission, caused a lot of unrest in North Vietnam, and they brought the U.S. Navy and Air Force then brought 1 million North Vietnamese into South Vietnam, where everything was settled and had been that way for thousands of years. And they brought all these new folks in there and caused major unrest in that country. And that contributed to the war.
Well, they wanted a war. They funded Ho Chi Minh. They staged the whole thing. Fletcher Prouty, head of Black Ops, exposed it. Our government funds all the communists, all the fascists, Saddam, bin Laden. I mean, it's all been declassified that McCarthy was right, that the Pentagon was running the Soviet Union, basically. I mean that's why Bob Chapman, who was in intelligence, said Friday, he believes if they do go with this martial law in the Gulf, that the Pentagon is going to spray stuff down there as a pretext that it won't really be the fumes.